me goodbye and write me while I'm gone. Goodbye, my sweetheart, hello, Vietnam. America has heard the bugle call, and you know it involves us one and all. I don't suppose that war will ever end. There's fighting that will break us up again. Goodbye, my darling, hello, Vietnam. A hill to take, a battle to be won. Kiss me goodbye and write me while I'm gone. Goodbye, my sweetheart, hello, Vietnam.
In this creative project, I intend to analyze the play The Island by Athol Fugard. I'll be using various videos to attach some evidence to my claims. The idea of shaving heads is not just limited to prisons. The clip I showed before depicts training recruits getting their heads shaven. This points to a broader theme of the state standardizing its people, reducing them just to a number. The shaven head is therefore a loss of personality. I will now be showing another clip from the same film, Full Metal Jacket, to understand how the state interacts with people using words.
I am Gunnery Sergeant Hartman, your senior drill instructor. From now on, you will speak only when spoken to. And the first and last words out of your filthy sewers will be, sir. Do you maggots understand that? Sir. Yes, sir. Bullshit, I can't hear you. Sound off like you got a pair. Sir. Yes, sir. If you ladies leave my island, if you survive recruit training, you will be a weapon. You will be a minister of death praying for war. But until that day, you are pukes. You are the lowest form of life on earth. You are not even human fucking beings. You are nothing but unorganized, grabastic pieces of amphibian shit. Because I am hard, you will not like me. But the more you hate me, the more you will learn. I am hard, but I am fair. There is no racial bigotry here. I do not look down on niggers, kites, wops, or greasers. Here you are all equally worthless.
The sergeant in the previous clip is probably how the warden Hadosh spoke with his prisoners. In fact, Mr. Hartman uses the word island to describe his military facility. The idea of a solitary confinement gives power to both these individuals. This is because the prisoners or the training marshals can never unite to fight against their respective oppressors. In one of the scenes from the island, Winston shouts, "I want Hodosh." But John calms his anger by stating that he made us run. He's happy now. Leave him. There's a constant fear of being punished harsher. I will now attach a clip of Slavoj Zizek describing this phenomenon.
Llorando por tu amor, llorando por tu amor se llevó todo mi corazón.
There is a short scene in David Lynch's Mulholland Drive, which takes place in the theater where we are now, where behind the microphone a woman is singing, then out of exhaustion or whatever, she drops down. Surprisingly, the singing goes on. Immediately afterwards, it is explained. It was a playback. But for that couple of seconds, when we are confused, we confront this nightmarish dimension of an autonomous partial object. Like in the well-known adventure of Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland, where the cat disappears, the smile remains.
You may have noticed that I'm not all there myself. And the moras.
The panopticon is an example of what Zizek calls a partial object. Hodosh never has to be there, but his shadow, like the menacing smile of the cat, stays long after he's gone. It is this uncertainty created by the panopticon that allows the prisoners to perform repetitive tasks. As mentioned in the island, each in turn fills a wheelbarrow and then, with great effort, pushes it to where the other man is digging and empties it. As a result, the piles of sand never diminish. Their labor is interminable. So, how does one escape the Sisyphean drudgery that we are subjected to? I will answer this with my own interpretation of the myth of Sisyphus. In the film Persona, the nurse is confronting her patient with her troubles of motherhood.
Elisabeth, var det där? Vad är det du gömmer under handen? Får jag se? Det är kortet på din lilla pojke. Det som du rev sönder. Det måste vi prata om.
The first scene is shown from the perspective of the patient.
Vad är det du gömmer under handen? Får jag se? Det är kortet på din lilla pojke, det som du rev sönder. Det måste vi prata om.
The scene is again repeated, but this time from the perspective of the nurse. Towards the end, the faces of the nurse and the patient coalesce into one. There is repetition of dialogue, but it is different because the perspective changes. I think Winston and John are trying to do the same with their play. The dialogue might be same from the Antigone's play, but the setting is different. This allows the prisoners to use the repetition of dialogue to share their perspective. This gives them expression. The expression doesn't come from the dialogue itself, but rather the emotions that we can never see from the screenplay, but we can definitely infer. I would now like to focus on the idea of a play within a play. How does this help understand the prisoner's plight? Theatre requires repeated rehearsals, and if successful, it needs repeated performances. When the play is going on, the theatre is a solitary place. This is especially true in the island, as there are only two characters. When the play starts, these prisoners are victims to a mute audience that can't react to their circumstances. Essentially, the entire play is a panopticon, one where the actors cannot see the audience, but the audience can always see the actors. Moreover, Adolf Fugard uses meta theatre to highlight the indifference of performing Antigone's play. There are no other prisoners depicted, which shows that things remain the same since the play. The ending scene that repeats the three-legged run proves this. In fact, the myth of Sisyphus echoes this indifference. Before being tasked to push the boulder, Sisyphus cheated the gods on multiple occasions, even escaping death a couple of times. Eventually, the gods got hold of him, punishing him for his defiance. The inevitability of Sisyphus' punishment and the inevitability of the prisoners in the island shows the apparent redundancy of resistance. So, what exactly is the point of performing Antigone's play? I will answer this by returning to the same scene from which I explain the concept of the panopticon.
No, I, banda. There is no band. Il n'est pas d'orchestra. This is all a tape recording. No, I, banda, and yet we hear a band. If we want to hear a clarinet, listen. Un trombone à coulisse. Un trombone can sordina.
J'aime le son du trombone in sourdine. J'ai le son! A muted trumpet. It's all recorded. No! I banda! It is all a tape. Il n'est pas d'orchestre. It is an illusion.
The illusion that created the autonomous partial object can also be an illusion that can help you survive. Throughout the text, Winston and John are working on the play not because it allows them to be free, but because it provides them an illusion of freedom. An illusion that for at least a moment they don't have to be themselves. An illusion that allows them to act as another being. I would now like to conclude on a more hopeful note, so I'll be playing another clip.
Bye. It was nice meeting you and all.
Lost to spend that much time with someone, only to find out that she's a stranger. Wait.
What?
I don't know.
What
Just
do you
wait.
want, Joel?
Just wait. I don't know. I want you to wait for just a while.
Okay.
Really?
I'm not a concept, Joel. I'm just a fucked up girl who's looking for my own peace of mind. I'm not perfect.
I can't see anything that I don't like about you.
But you
Right
will.
now, I can't.
But you will. You know, you will think of things. And I'll get bored with you and feel trapped because that's what happens with me.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
How happy is the blameless vessel's lot, the world forgetting by the world forgot, eternal sunshine of a spotless mind, each prayer accepted and each wish resigned.